Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hello Dave. We're down with Astronomy. It's Monday. So let's take a look at what's been going on in both Elite and Star Status in the past week and what is going to happen in the week to come. First of all, I need to do a quick correction from last week's Hello Dave. I talked about the mining lasers that you could get from last week's community goal and the fact that only long-range lasers seem to make them a little underpowered. I've missed a forum post where they actually detailed the statistics on it, and the mining laser turned out to be quite a bit better than I had first thought they was based on the community goal description. So not only do they get 2,500 meter range compared to the 2,000 meter you get on the lands, that's of course not why you get it. Why you want to get it is because you get half the power draw, half the distributor draw, and half the thermal load of a normal laser. Now it's still a size 1 laser, so it's not super amazing. If it was a size 2, it would have been really, really good. It's a size 1, so it's okay, I guess. I mean, if it becomes available later, I might get a few if you have plans to make smaller mining ships, but in general, I think it's okay. Again, I think they got a reasonable balance. I would like it to be in size 2, but yeah. I just wanted to make that correction because I mentioned it last week that I thought it was quite underwhelming. But let's move on to the Elite Dangerous news from last week, and we're going to start with Hyford's catch. There's going to be light spoilers in this. There's going to be some basic overview of the event. I'm not going to go into lore spoilers or anything here. It's just going to be a brief overview, so if you really want to stay completely clean, go down the timeline, skip this section. Hyford's cache, of course, is from a crashed ship you can find out in Colonial, and for years and years this has not been available. But recently, last Thursday, the data port on the crashed ship was made available, and we can now scan it. This sent people on a bit of a journey, as it pointed to a system out close to Barnard's Loop. Now, if you're familiar with your galactic geography, Barnard's Loop and Colonia is nowhere near each other. Barnard's Loop is actually on the opposite side of the bubble compared to Colonia, so it is quite a bit of light years you need to cover. But not only that, it is also an area that is notoriously hard to traverse because you have the cold 70 sector, which is permit locked and you can't get in. So that made the whole thing a little bit more difficult. You have to take detours around the cold 70 sector in order to get in. But from there, there's a string of clues you have to follow. I'm not going to spoil exactly what it is. While there has been some critique that the event stretches over such a large area of space that you have to travel so far, personally I don't think it's a huge issue, and I will actually give Frontier credit for making this event solvable by a lone commander. A lot of the previous events we have around the Elamaster has always pointed us to an area of space that needs to be searched through manually where there weren't any specific system that were pinpointed. And this meant that for a solo player, this was just unfeasible, as there was no way a single player were going to search through 15,000 systems. And this meant that only larger groups of players were going to be able to actually solve this. But in this case, it is solvable by a single commander. There is some clues, there is some puzzles and riddles and stuff going on that you need to figure out along the way in order to get to the end. That does give you some interesting things you can find towards the end. Again, not going to spoil anything, but I just want to give Frontier credit saying I think it's nice that this is solvable by a single commander, so thumbs up for that. I'm definitely going to be running the event. I haven't done it yet, but I probably want to do it during a live stream. But since there is a bit of prep work, I need to get some ships out because we're not going to fly 30,000 light years doing a live stream. So I want to have characters in both locations so we can swap between them quickly. So there's a bit of prep work. So that's not going to be on Tuesday, but at some point, I'll probably do it over the weekend so I have some extra time in case we run out of time. But that event is running. You can pick it up out in Colonia. There's some listing posts out in the Colonia area that you can look for and get the event started that way. Later this week, we are also going to get the third dev update from Frontier. Now, exactly what it's going to contain, we don't know, but we know that it's going to mostly focus on some of the things that they're going to be adding in update 7, which is currently scheduled sometime in September. We don't know when in September, we just know at some point in September. We do know a few things that they are going to be working on. One of them is a rebalancing on conflict zones. For instance, they're going to be adding more ground-to-air defense to the conflict zones to prevent people just sitting still with dumbfire missiles, wrecking everything that moves on the ground. And they're also going to introduce rocket troops that's going to have the rocket launcher to be the natural counter to SRVs, to make SRVs a little bit less overpowered in conflict zones. We also know that they're going to be expanding bookmarks and module storage, so they're going to be increased from the 120 they are now up to 200, so you're going to get more room for bookmarks, you're going to get more room to store modules, so hopefully that means you can get rid of some of the type 9s and 10s and cutters or whatever people are using to use as extra module storage, and you can now actually use the in-game module storage. They say there is a limit, some kind of server limit. I can't figure out why and what it is, but there is apparently some kind of natural limit that prevents them from actually going further than 200. I can't figure out what it is, but even though I would like to see it increase, if there is some kind of a limit to why they can't do it, well, I don't know. And nice to see, nice quality of life, because I've definitely been struggling with enough space for all my modules, and getting those extra module stores is going to be a nice quality of life change. Station interiors is also going to get an overhaul where they're going to be changing basically, I think, mostly some of the colors, not really as much the layout, but just the color scheme of them and the looks and feels of them. It's going to change depending on the type of station you're in. I think the economy maybe in the system is going to have an effect on what the station looks like. So they're going to feel a little bit more different, and they're a little bit more distinguishable from each other, so that when you are at your home station, it feels different from all the other stations that you see in the game. But I'm sure we're going to get a lot more information about what's going to come in update 7 when Dev Update 3 comes out later this week. Over in the verse in Star Citizen, we have had the XenoThreat event running here over the last days, and it's been a very fun event to fly. There's been some cargo hauling of various hazardous goods. There's been combat. Somebody needs to run around and do. Over the verse in Star Citizen, of course, we had the last week. We had the XenoThreat event has been running, which I think has been an absolute blast. It was a really good way to make some very fast credits, and I think the event was laid out pretty cool. 2 phases. First, a cargo hauling phase where you need to ferry some cargo back to the ship. And some need, of course, to be running fighter support as you were constantly being attacked by pirates. And then you moved into the second phase, which was like an all-out attack where you would have to go and fend off the XenoThreat terror group. I liked it. It was a good event. It was enjoyable. Here Sunday evening, I believe it's still on. I actually haven't been in game today to check, but I think it's still on. I don't know when they're going to end it, so maybe by the time this run, it's still running. I don't know. But overall, I had a good bit of fun with this, and it's good to see them getting the dynamic events more in place, and I'm looking forward to see more of these in the future. In the last week, we also took the initial steps to the Intergalactic Aerospace Engineering Expo. This is a yearly event where all the ship manufacturers, they showcase their ships, and you have a chance to go and take a look at them, take them for a spin, fly them, all that cool stuff. We're taking the initial steps to the expo right now, where there's the community call part of it, where they're encouraging people to go out and make cool, awesome creations, focusing on the ships of Star Citizen. So it could be that you maybe build one in Lego, maybe you make a cool piece of fan art. I've seen people make like plushie toys out of that simulate some of the ships. Maybe you make a piece of music or a song dedicated to one of the ships. Anything is really welcome right now, and I just want all that posted. There's some more information about it if you go and look up the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2951. Part of it is going to run until the 8th, where the expo actually start, and we're going to have the ship Showdown, where you can vote for what ship you like the most in the game, and the winning ships is then going to get a special paint job made for it, and all people who own that ship, I believe, will get that paint job. I believe that's how it works. I haven't been able to find like solid information, but I think that's how it's going to work. I think maybe the top 3 is going to get the paint job, but that is starting on the 8th. The expo starts on the 8th, and then each manufacturer will have a couple of days, 2 or 3 days per manufacturer, where their ships is going to be on display wherever the expo is going to be. You can then go, you can visit it, you can watch all the ships, you can walk through them, take them for a spin if you want to, and it's generally a ton of fun. And it's I like these events where you can go and you can try and really see the ships for yourself, even some of them that you may not be super interested in. This is a good chance to go out, take them out, and see maybe there's something for you. Anyway, finally, I need to talk about the live stream tomorrow. I've been collecting a lot of materials in Elite Dangerous Odyssey, because I have a Dominator build that I want to try. At least we're going to make the first steps towards it. It's not going to be a complete build yet. There's still some weapons that need engineering, but I have the suit and I have at least my main weapon ready, at least the materials for it. So we need to go and engineer it, and then we're going to go and take it out for a spin, try it, see how it works, and maybe we have to make changes. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, it should be I think it should be a lot of fun. We're going to go start the live stream with some quick engineering. This shouldn't take too long. And then we're going to go down, find some conflict zones, and we're going to go and shoot some people with some over-engineered suits and weapons, which I think should be pretty fun. But that's all going to be tomorrow, and business as usual. It's going to be live streamed YouTube, Twitch, 7 o'clock in-game time. Hope I'll see you there. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.